You're welcome to leave your camera on, or you can turn it off. And then just find a child's pose version that feels best for you today. So your knees can be together, your knees can be apart. Your arms can be out in front, or they can be down by your side. Once you find a position that feels good, just allow yourself to really settle in. And to start to turn inward so that you're not just in your room or your hallway like I am, or your apartment, but instead you're inside your first home, your body. And while you're here, just start to acknowledge how you really feel today. That can be physically or emotionally or mentally. Maybe your thoughts are really busy. Whatever you find, just be willing to meet it, to be with yourself. And trust that you already know what you need. You just have to be willing to give it to yourself. Willing to ride the waves of emotion, ride the waves of your thoughts, your physical feelings. Together, let's take a full breath in, inhale. And exhale, release. I'm gonna do two more like that, big breaths in and out. Take one more on your own. Really see how big you can fill up your belly. These deep breaths really stimulate the part of your nervous system that allows you to rest and to feel comforted and safe. You come out of that anxiety, fight or flight sort of feeling. If you want to stay here longer, you can. Otherwise, start to press into your hands. Pull yourself forward into a tabletop position so that your knees are right under your hips and your hands are right under your shoulders. Then inhale, drop your belly, scoop your chest forward, get wide through your chest. Exhale, pull your chin to your chest, ground through your spine and tug your tailbone. Inhale, pull forward, drop your belly, maybe bend your elbows a little bit and really exaggerate this. Then exhale, chin to chest, round. Couple more in your breath, or if any other movements feel better, you take those. So you can add in wiggling side to side. You can add in some hip circles or some wrist stretches. You might just close your eyes and allow yourself to really trust, to really listen. And then once your spine starts to feel nice and warm, we're gonna come to our first downward facing dog. So curl your toes under, lift your knees, send your hips up and back into an inverted V sort of shape. And find your first down dog. And then as you arrive, you pedal out your feet. You might wiggle a little bit here. You just start to feel into this pose. This is the home base for our practice. So you want it to feel really nice and really solid. Your neck should be nice and relaxed. You're pressing into your index finger mounds so that you're using the stronger part of your forearms and taking some pressure off your wrists. If they aren't already, bring your feet to hips distance apart, so a little space between them. Then we're gonna bring our heels to touch and turn your toes out. So you might notice now that your heels will come all the way down to the mat if they didn't before. Just gonna be a little bit different of a stretch in this downward facing dog. Your knees can have a bend. And start to bring your feet back to neutral and turn your toes inward and your heels out. And notice this stretch. Maybe it's a little bit more uncomfortable, or maybe it feels better. Then start to bring your feet back to neutral. Inhale, wave forward and find a plank position. Then when you get there, bend your knees, send your hips up and back, right back to downward facing dog. Ready? 2 more of those. Inhale, wave forward, nice and slow. Use your whole breath in. Then exhale, bend your knees, lift your hips, downward facing dog. 1 more time, inhale. And exhale, downward facing. Look back towards your thighs. Breathe in through your nose. Seal your lips, breathe out through your nose. That breath is gonna build heat and keep your focus on your breathing, which is what you want. Rise onto your toes, bend your knees. Exhale here, and start to take little steps to the top of your mat. And find a forward fold. When you get there, you might grab opposite elbows, hang heavy. You can always keep up bending your knees. Relax through your face, your neck, your shoulders. And notice here that your head and your heart, these really important parts of your body, are completely trusting your lower body, your legs, to support you. Gently start to release your grip, tuck your chin. We'll roll all the way up to stand. When you get there, just take some big shoulder rolls. And reach your arms overhead. Bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway and get long through your spine. So your hands come to your shins. And you press onto your shins so that you can stretch out even more through every vertebra in your spine. Exhale, forward fold. 2 more. Inhale, lift halfway. Gaze is down but out in front of you. Exhale, fold. 1 more time. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you fold, see if you can go out first and then down into your fold. Plant your hands. Step back. Find your plank pose. This time we'll drop our knees, and you want to keep your spine in one long line, your tailbone down. Start to lower all the way down. Exhale. When you get there, bring your big toes to touch. Inhale, lift through your chest, soft bend in your elbows. Your hands and your fingers are light. Hello. Then curl your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Rise onto your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Maybe a little bit bigger steps this time, feet towards your hands. Inhale, lift halfway, long in your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Reach high. Then exhale, we forward fold, right back down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Step back, find your plank. This time, we'll keep our knees lifted, or of course you can lower them if that serves you better. And then you lower all the way down as slow as you can. This time, press into your hands a little bit more. See if you can straighten your arms a little bit more. Then curl your toes. Hips go up and back, downward facing up. Rise onto your toes, bend your knees. Look forward, step, or if you're ready to hop or float, go for that. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up to stand, reach high. Exhale, right back down, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, plant your hands. This time, we're gonna step our right foot back first, and then just see if you can step your left foot back, press into your hands, and lower down into a half push-up, chaturanga, or all the way down. Then pull your chest through, press into the tops of your feet for upward facing dog, or you drop the front of your legs for cobra. Roll over your toes or flip them one at a time, downward facing dog. One more like that, rise onto your toes, bend your knees, look forward, hop or step, feet to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, rise all the way up, reach high. Exhale, right back down, release. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, press into your hands, step your left foot back. Now, see if you can step your right foot back and lower at the same time. Inhale, open up. Exhale, downward facing up. Big breath in. Big breath out. Rise onto your toes. Bend your knees. Look forward. Step or hop. Feet to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. So we're gonna add a little change here. We're gonna sink into a chair pose. So you can play with your feet. Either your toes come to touch or you have a little space between your feet. And then, just like you're sitting in a chair, sink your hips back. You wanna feel that your inner thighs are squeezing together, whether they're touching or not. And if you look down, you should be able to see your toes. Pull your belly up and in. And take a moment here, close your eyes, and breathe. Maybe you can sink 1 inch lower. And something your practice teaches you is to sit through times of discomfort because they are what makes you stronger. One more breath in. Out, forward fold, belly to thighs, and then you can straighten your legs if it's there. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. This time we step our right foot back. Drop your heel down to the mat. Your toes will point to the top right corner of your mat. Then inhale to lift your arms. You'll be in a warrior one. So you want to feel that your hips are squaring off towards the front of your mat. You can even bring your hands to your hips, square them off, or adjust your feet to get that square. Then pinkies are in, thumbs are out so that you're opening through your chest, but relaxing through your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, come onto the ball of your right foot. Then just like we did before, see if you can step your left foot back as you lower into chaturanga. Inhale, open up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Rise onto your toes, bend your knees, look forward, move forward, feet to hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Rise all the way up to stand, reach high. Get your feet how you want them, then sink, chair pose. The arms can be overhead or your hands can be at your heart. You choose what feels better for you today. One more breath in, fire up those quads, fire up the core. Exhale, forward fold, straighten the legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Step that left foot back, drop your heel, then rise up into your warrior one. Adjust as you need to. Really root down through that right big toe and the blade edge of your left foot. Breathe in. Breathe out, hands down. Come onto the ball of your left foot. Then slow and controlled, step that right foot back as you lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, open up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Rise onto your toes, bend your knees, look forward, travel any way you want to get there, top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up. And then we sink, chair. All right, so we're gonna go for that again, but we're gonna add on just a little bit. So this time in chair, we're gonna start to pull your right heel towards your right glute and find a little bit of balance. Nice. Now, We're gonna take a slow step back right into your warrior one. Lift your arms. Maybe it's a fast step back, and that's fine. The slower you go, the harder it will be. Breathe in here. Then exhale, start to cactus your arms, pull down. Imagine you're pulling on like a bar or a rubber band. Find opening through your heart, but keep your elbows in line with your shoulders. Your gaze can lift or your chin can stay tucked. Inhale. Exhale, reach your arms overhead. And we'll bring your hands down to the mat. Come onto the ball of your right foot. Drop your right knee down to the mat. Lift your left arm and twist. So left hand can come to the low back if that feels a little bit better, or it could be reaching overhead. You want to make sure your hand is in line with your shoulder socket. From here, we're going to take it to a modified side plank. So press into your right hand, sweep your left leg behind you, and you'll be in that modified side plank. So if you have practiced with me before, which I think all of you have, I want you to think about being in balancing half moon while you're here in this modified side plank, because it's the same alignment. So see if you can trust yourself a little bit, if you can lean back like you're leaning against a wall, and maybe you can get lighter in your bottom hand. Maybe you can tent onto the, you might wobble and that's okay. You might tent onto your bottom fingertips. Maybe you can even pull your core in, pull your obliques in. See if you can lift your bottom hand, even if it's just for a second, and you will fall, but that's okay, it's part of the fun. Some days it's easier than others. And then eventually we're gonna square towards the mat. We'll be in a 3-leg tabletop position. That left leg is still lifted. Set your left toes down behind you. Then right leg, 3-legged plank. You can take a 3-legged flow or a regular flow, or you can ditch the flow altogether. You can go straight to down dog. Rise onto your toes, bend your knees. Look forward, hop or step, feet to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up, reach high. And then we sink, chair pose. All right, so really root down through your right foot. You might even imagine like roots growing out of your big toe mound. And then start to pull your left heel towards your left glute and hold for a minute. Keep your knees in line with one another. And then as slow as you can, use your core. Step back, warrior one. Adjust as you need. Then inhale. Exhale, start to pull your elbows down. Open your heart. Start to reach back up. Exhale, hands come down to your mat. Come onto the ball of your back foot first, and then go ahead and drop your knee. You can leave your toes tucked or untuck them, whatever feels better on your knee. And then open up, twist. Every exhale, see if you can twist a little bit deeper through your thoracic spine and your rib cage. And then we'll start to take it into your modified side plank. So I like to kickstand my left knee or left foot out a little bit, and then sweep your leg back. Now, see if you can trust yourself. So maybe you tent onto the fingertips and that's it. Maybe you want to play around with some crazy balance and some hang time, and you start to get lighter in your bottom hand. Maybe you try to pull it towards your heart and you will fall, and that's part of it. One more breath here, wherever you are. Start to square down, 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 down. Shoulder square, hips square. Set your right toes down behind you. Press into them. Lift your left leg. 3-legged flow, no flow, regular flow. Anything goes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Rise up onto your toes, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop, feet to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Rise all the way up, reach high. Breathe in here, then exhale, chair pose. So many chairs today. All right, so we're gonna add on even more from here. Root down in your left foot. Start to bring your right heel towards your right glute. Stay low in that left leg. Then we're gonna cross the right knee behind the left, set it down. You'll be in this little like curtsy squat situation. And we'll pull your right heel back towards your right glute. Set it down, chair pose. Now we're gonna do the left side. Left heel, left glute. Step it behind. Curtsy squat, build strength in those legs. Heel to glute. Chair pose. Right side one more time. Right heel, right glute. Cross it behind you. Little curtsy squat. Heel to glute, and we hold this time. Now we're gonna start to take that big step back, but maybe you almost passed through a warrior 3 on your way there. Set your toes down. Crescent lunge, we're gonna stay on the ball of that back foot. So I like to have a bend in my back knee so that my tailbone can point straight down and my spine can be straight. But you can play around with that with having a straight back leg or a bent knee. Inhale. Exhale, start to cactus through your arms. Breathe in. As you breathe out, start to twist towards your left side. Reach your arms wide in opposite directions. You can stay right here, or you can start to exalt, kind of like a reverse warrior. Maybe that front hand or back hand tucks into your right hip crease. Breathe in, one more breath. As you exhale, you tip all the way forward into dragonfly twist, right hand down, left arm high. So you can drop that knee just like we did before, or we're going to a full side plank. So press into that right hand, roll onto the edge of your back foot, step back, side plank. You can stagger your feet, that's gonna make it a little easier, or you can stack. Square off towards the mat, plank pose. And then we're gonna open up the other way, side plank. Woo. All right, big transition here, but you can do it. So you're gonna start to pull your right knee in towards your chest, and then you're gonna step it forward. It might take more than one step. You'll be in dragonfly twist on the other side. From here, right elbow to your right thigh. Drop your left toes and your left heel. You'll be in side angle. So now our hips are opening up towards the left side. Press down with your feet, rise up, warrior 2. Reach equally in both directions. If you look at your feet, your front heel should be aligned about with the arch of your back foot. Flip your front palm, reach forward, up and back, reverse your warrior, and then exhale right back into your side angle. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, side angle. We're gonna do a couple more like that. You just follow your breath, and if you would rather hold, maybe you're working on a half bind or a birds of paradise in side angle, you're welcome to hold. It's your practice and you follow your rules. You already know what you need. Eventually, we're gonna hold in that reverse warrior. Option to start to straighten your right leg so that you can reach even further back and stretch through that front oblique. Breathe in here. As you exhale, we're gonna find balancing half moon. Maybe you can do it in one swift movement on your exhale. Maybe you hop your back foot in a couple times, start to tilt forward until your hand finds the ground, or maybe it doesn't find the ground, it just hovers. Maybe it rests on a book or a pillow or a table. But see if you can trust yourself here, just like you did before. Be playful, be curious. Maybe you can lift your bottom hand. And we'll start to square shoulders and hips towards the mat. Left foot meets your right. Forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands. You can float or you can leave it off. In down dog, take a full breath in and a full breath out. Like we did at the beginning, bring your heels to touch, let your toes go out wide. Notice how it feels different. Maybe your legs are feeling a little more open on the back sides. And bring your toes back to neutral. Turn your heels outwards. Notice how this feels different. Breathe into the other parts of your legs. Start to bring your toes back to neutral. Big breath in. Open your mouth, breathe out. Rise onto your toes, bend your knees. Look forward, step or hop. Feet to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach high. And exhale, right back into your chair pose. This time, we're gonna start on the left. Start to pull your left heel towards your left glute and step it behind the right into that little curtsy. Heel to glute, chair pose. Right side one time, right heel towards your glute. Step it back, squat, heel to glute, chair pose. All right, last time, left side. Heel to glute and hold. Then, slow, slow, slow and controlled. Big step back, crescent lunge. Reach your arms overhead. So we're on the ball of that back foot. Breathe in. Breathe out. Start to cactus through your arms. Inhale here. Exhale, start to twist towards the right. Open your arms wide if that feels okay. Maybe you reach up and back and reverse. One more inhale. Exhale, start to lean forward all the way into your dragonfly twist. Your left hand comes down, your right arm lifts high. You can drop that back knee or not. We're going to take it into side plank. So you roll on to the blade edge of your back foot and you step back. Maybe your feet stagger, maybe not. Start to square off, plank pose. Then we open up towards the other way, side plank. All right, big transition here, but you can do it. Start to pull your left knee in. Biggest step you can do, forward. Dragonfly twist. Might take a couple steps. Breathe in. Breathe out, left elbow to your left thigh. Pivot open towards the right for your side angle. Feel like your shoulders are stacking, your hips are stacking. Press down with your feet, rise, warrior two, and take a moment to adjust if you need. Maybe your feet can get a little bit wider. Maybe your shoulders can relax a little more. Then flip your front palm, reach forward, up and back, reverse. Exhale to side angle. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse. You keep it going, or you hold and you work on your balance or your bind, or you hold in a reverse if that feels good. If you are moving with me, see if you can think about this as a side crunch in your obliques. Eventually, we hold in your reverse, and maybe you start to straighten through your front leg so that you can pull back even further. Inhale here. On your exhale, you take it to balancing half moon, however many steps you need. And you just see where you can build trust. Maybe you can lift up your bottom hand. And we'll start to square off towards the mat. Right foot meets your left, forward fold. Sway a little side to side. You can grab opposite elbows. And eventually inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, flow if you want to flow. Skip it if you don't. This time, from down dog, go ahead and drop your knees. Walk your hands back and find a comfy seat on your knees. For a moment, just bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Close your eyes and allow yourself to check in. Notice the pace of your breath, maybe your heart rate, how you feel now compared to how you felt at the beginning. Together, take a big breath in and a big breath out. Gently start to release your hands. We're gonna play with a little heart opening here, leading up to camel. If that's in your practice, you don't have to do full camel, but that's kind of where it's going. So we're gonna rise up onto your shins and tuck your toes underneath so that you get a little more height in the back of your stretch. And then bring your hands to your hips and start to just move your hips around in a circle. So we're gonna think of your pelvis as a bowl here because it really is. And as you do this, I want you to notice how your chest moves in opposition with your hips. So as your hips come forward, your chest is gonna lean back into a heart opener. And that's what we're gonna find in a minute as we move towards camel. And then we're gonna switch out the direction. If you haven't already switched it out, take it the other way. And once you start to feel good with this, bring it back towards neutral. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. And then just start to open up. I'm in a hallway, so it's kind of hard. For a wide arm twist. And then start to take your right hand to your right heel, lift your left arm. As you swing your hips back, your chest is gonna come forward, your left arm is gonna come forward around and down until you open up the other way and you take this into your side bend. Same thing, hips come around and down, your chest comes forward, your arms come forward, and you lift the other way. We're just gonna keep moving with this. So you can take it nice and slow, maybe you speed it up a little bit more. And maybe it starts to get so big that as you get to the top, your shoulders will square towards the sky. And they might not, but if they do, allow it to happen. And you want to feel your core pulling up and in here so that the strain is not on your low back. And if it is on your low back, you're bending a little bit too far. So listen to yourself. And if you want to take it to full camel, you can. What that looks like is both hands on your heels and your chest lifted. You use your inhales to press your chest towards the sky instead of leaning back. But again, it's just an option. You're getting all the benefits just from being in these side bends. And eventually, we'll start to slow it back down. If you're in camel, slowly make your way out. And eventually, we'll find a child's pose with your hands down by your sides. Really breathe into the middle of your back. Bring your hands to your low back, clasp them together. And just allow your fist to drop any amount towards your head for a shoulder stretch. You might roll up onto the crown of your head and really exaggerate the rounding in your spine, but you're super gentle on your head if you're going for that. And slowly make your way back down. Rock your forehead a little side to side. When you're ready, gently start to make your way back up into a kneeling position, just so that you can slide your legs around towards the front. Keep your knees bent and come towards the top of your mat because eventually we're going to roll down. Then pick up your right ankle, cross it over your left thigh for a seated figure 4 variation. You can adjust the depth of your stretch here by picking up your hips and moving them closer to your left foot. The closer you move your hips, the more intense your stretch is going to be. Might feel good to rock a little side to side here. And then gently start to switch out your legs. And again, use your hands and your hips to adjust the depth of your stretch. You should be feeling a stretch that is uncomfortable, but not painful. So if it feels painful or like gripping or your joints hurt, then you've gone too far. You need to ease back out and listen to yourself. Gently start to release. Windshield wiper both knees, side to side. And from here, we're gonna roll down onto our spines. So you can keep your knees bent or you can send your legs straight out in front of you. Reach your arms forward or up. Up is gonna be a little more challenging. Pull your belly up and in and slowly make your way down. And once you find your way to your spine, take it into happy baby. Bring your hands to the outside edges of your feet. You can rock a little side to side. Maybe straighten one leg at a time. Eventually, gently release both your legs. We'll send your right leg up towards the sky. Keep your left leg long. Grab behind your right hamstring. And just find a little hamstring stretch here. Your right knee can stay bent. Roll out your ankles. Your ankle in one direction. Play with pointing and flexing your foot. And pull your right knee in towards your chest. Give it a good squeeze. Squeeze on the shin. And start to roll over onto your left hip and find a twist. If you have room and you want to straighten your right leg, you can. Maybe you just add a little pressure onto that right thigh with your left hand. And if it's comfortable, look towards the right. Start to release your way back to center. Send your right leg long. Lift your left leg, foot straight towards the sky. Grab behind the hamstring, or if you're really flexy, you might grab behind the calf. If this feels like too much, you can also put the sole of your right foot down on the mat and bend your knee. Play with rolling out your ankle. Notice any places that feel a little sticky. Maybe you point and flex your foot. And start to pull your knee into your chest. Give it a good squeeze. And then start to roll over onto your right hip and find your twist. You really want both shoulder blades to be down on the mat. So if they're not, unwind your twist just a little bit. And just allow yourself to really melt into the mat. Start to make your way back to center. And we'll send both legs straight up towards the sky for waterfall. If you want to take it to shoulder stand, you can. Just bring your hands to support your hips as you roll up. And if you're in shoulder stand, the weight is on your shoulders and your triceps and not on your head so much. A little on your head, but not much. When you're ready, slowly make your way down. You find any last stretches or poses that you're craving. I'm gonna find a Supta Baddha Konasana with the soles of my feet touching and my knees wide. But if you want one more stretch or twist or anything, you take that. Now as you're here, do one more scan. Notice what you find. Acknowledge how you feel. And trust that you already know what you need, physically, emotionally. And that part of this practice of yoga is just learning to listen to yourself. Learning to be at home in your first home, your body. When you are ready to move towards your final rest, your Shavasana, you can either stay where you are or you can find a position that feels better, maybe flat on your back. When you find a position that feels right, settle into stillness there. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Allow yourself to soak up your practice in Shavasana. Breathe in. Breathe out. And gently and kindly start to invite a little bit of movement, some deep breaths, maybe a big stretch with your arms overhead. When you're ready, gently roll over onto one side and pause for a moment there. We pause in this fetal position as a reminder that at the end of your practice, you have an opportunity to start fresh. To leave behind anything that is no longer serving you, and to move forward with what you learned from your practice. Move forward a little more open, a little more trusting, a little more free. So when you are ready to move forward, find a comfy seat. You can bring your hands to rest, face down or face up, or maybe your hands are at your heart. And then together, we take one more breath. Inhale, exhale. Thank you so much for being here, for moving with me, for trusting me with your practice. It's such a joy always to lead you. Namaste. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Happy Wednesday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you feel adequately bendy.
Yeah.
Next flow is going to be Friday at 5:30, so I'll send the Zoom link to you guys if you want to join, but that'll be the next one.
Cool.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye, guys.
Bye.